Hello everyone and welcome to the Atlassian Community Roundup for the month of July. Even though we're right in the middle of summer in North America, so many things have been going on. So without further ado, let's dive in and check them all out. Okay, kicking things off for our announcements and highlights. You know it was coming. Kudos release notes. So, things you should know about this. There are new level up rewards. So now starting at level 2, you'll be able to do some bonuses on giving out kudos as well as receiving some extra points. So you can help climb the ladder a little bit faster. In addition to that, there are a few new badges out there for all of you to collect. The Happy Planting for the Tree Migos badge was all about the likes for trees. If you have not liked anything in the month of July, where were you? But if you have, you should have been able to earn this badge as it did end as of the end of July. Also, we will talk about Jira July in a little bit, but there was a Jira July badge for taking part in a number of the activities that were going on there. And finally, there is a bite-sized learning for assets in JSM. So be sure to go and check out that so that you can take advantage of earning all of these badges. Next up, in the community launchpad, we do have a couple of extra things on badges. The first thing to also note is that if you have not heard about Team 24 Europe, there is more information here about it. Yes, there is a lighter version of Team 24 that was done in Las Vegas earlier in the year, coming to a European location in Barcelona in October. There are more free live learning sessions that you can take advantage of. And the newest Atlassian Certified Associate certification, the Confluence Essentials one, is available for you. And by just coming here and reading all these things and liking this post, the Community Launchpad article badge is up for grabs for you. Speaking of more bite-sized learning, there is a new bite-sized learning for automation and Confluence. So if you have not checked out all the amazing things that automation and Confluence can do, this is a perfect getting started guide on how to take advantage of those. So be sure to jump into that. Next up, there is a new collection in the online community, all for Bitbucket pipelines. So if you are involved in continuous integration and deployment using pipelines within your company, or maybe even just personally, you'll want to check out this new space that is dedicated for you and all the questions that you may have there. Now, getting back into Jira July, there were so many things going on, including the Jira Olympics. This is a aggregation of all the things that were going on, including nominating your team for a reward. And then there were various things that were happening every single week. So you'll want to go and check out the things you missed. Most importantly, July 15th was Jira Admin Appreciation Day. If you missed out on that, please be sure to go and let your Jira admin know how much you appreciate all the work that they do. Next up is a recap from Are You Smarter Than a Jira Admin? I know I mentioned this on last month's roundup, or at least I alluded to it in the mentioning of the Confluence one that just finished. Go and check out this recap because it actually goes over all the questions that were asked and what the correct answers were, as well as the reasoning for them. These are the types of things that will help you prepare for any of your various certifications. I'm not saying that these are the questions and the answers, but being able to know what the correct answer is, and then more importantly, what the incorrect answers were, will definitely help you get a leg up in your studying. Next up, we got a couple of cool things going on. First, it's Brittany Joyner, and she has given a full article, including a video, on how she is using Trello to track various things in her camper. It's kind of like the most amazing use of Trello as pretending to be assets. So if you want to learn how to use Trello to track an inventory of things, I would highly recommend this one. Next up, this, in my opinion, is a feel-good article. Hannah has talked about sort of going on maternity leave and then coming back, and how supportive her customers and her coworkers have been in the changes that she has needed to make to have that balance of supporting her family as well as doing work. And if you need that uplift, you should read this article. Finally, Theodora is back again with another helpful article on best practices for using tools. This time we're talking about how to make them communicate together. So much like a sports team, you can't just put all the good things together and make them play and they will automatically start to mesh well together. You're going to need to put some work into making sure that you're using the right tools for the right processes at the right time. And this does a great job of talking about how to get certain tools to mesh together very well. That's all we have for announcements and highlights for the month of July. Okay, moving right along into our new features and product updates. First up, with Jira Service Management's virtual agent, you can now enable that directly into the portal. So if you are not using any of the chat tools for the virtual agent, such as Slack, you can now still use the virtual agent's capabilities on the portal view, which awesome in my mind. I can't wait to try that out myself. An announcement for those of you using Assets and AQL specifically: on September 30th of this year, 2024, you will no longer be able to use the ID of a status in your AQL queries. This was an undocumented feature that just happened to work, and Atlassian is going to be removing it. So if you have any scripts or queries that rely on the status ID, you are going to want to change them before the end of September so that you don't lose any data. What should you be using? You should be using the name attribute. Next up, just as an announcement, I think this should be live as of this article going out. The Bitbucket Cloud team is going to start deleting empty workspaces. So if you have workspaces that have data in them, you won't be affected. If you if you got one that's empty, it also won't affect your ability to log into your profile. Just empty workspaces are going to be deleted, and I think that's just, to clean up the stuff that's not being used at this point in time. Next up, there is some new analytics in Confluence, some new Confluence data in Atlassian Analytics. So for all of my enterprise friends out there, you will want to check this out to see the new things that you can take advantage of. Most of them surround some updates to attachments and space permissions, as well as just the new features that have come out, whiteboards and databases. And speaking of Confluence whiteboards, the June edition shows some of the new features that they've added, including transparency in images, full screen mode, and a new sticker pack. If you'd like to know more about the details of any of those things and the other things that are out new, go check out this article. Next up, if you have not heard about Confluence databases, it is the latest feature to go GA. So if you are interested in learning more about it, I would go and check this article, as it has a nice little primer on teaching you the basics that you will need to know to get started with it, and also why it's powerful and why you might want to use it. Next up, sprint retrospectives are now available in company managed projects. I think most people know my feelings on team managed projects, and I will say that anything where we're taking the good features within team managed projects and making them available in company managed projects, I am 100% on board with. So if you are doing sprint retrospectives and you want to now do them as a part of your company managed projects, you can do that, and I am all for it. Next up, the program board is a new beta feature for Jira plans. So what was formerly advanced roadmaps, if you are taking advantage of Jira plans, you might want to consider joining the open beta on the program board, as it's going to give you more of that short to midterm planning with multiple sprints and then scheduling them so that you can forecast on what your teams are going to be working on in sort of that mid-range of your roadmap. So if that's something that interests you, I would recommend you check out this article, because there are some limitations as well as some prerequisites in order to use this. So you'll want to make sure that you are meeting the requirements in order to take advantage of this, and see if that's even something that would fit the way in which you are currently using Jira. Finally, I saved the best for last, and that is that the Rovo Agents Forge developer experience is entering early access soon. If you missed the announcement on Rovo, go back to last month's roundup. I talked all about it, either there or the one with when Team 24 was out. But Rovo is going to be a new sort of AI teammate, and the agents are going to be sort of tasks that you assign it to do. Forge is going to be sort of your platform for making your own custom agents, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see this as a Code challenge at some point in the future, maybe? Anyway, if you are interested in learning more about Rovo and how to develop them in Forge, the early access program's coming soon. You'll want to keep your eyes on that if you want to get involved. And that's all we have for product features and new features and product updates for the month of July. I hope you have enjoyed reading through or watching this roundup, or maybe listening to it. I'm not sure which way you consume it. As much as I always enjoy putting it together for you, as I have always mentioned in the past, and I will mention again, this is just a small taste of all that's out there in the online community. For the product features, I had at least double the number of items that I actually presented, and I had to pare down the list. So once you are done here, please go out and search the community on your own for all the great content that's out there. And with that, that's all I have for you for this month. So please enjoy the rest of your summer, or in the Southern Hemisphere, please stay safe in your winter, and I will see you once again next month. Next month. Thanks for stopping by.